Today we're going to do an oil change on the Super Cub because the Super Cub is now rocking.
Is it rocking now? Let's see.
606.
Oh, glare's getting it. Yep, there it is. 606 miles.
So after you're right, 2 weeks, it's already got its braking miles done.
God.
Yeah, so join me today, along with Chris, and we're going to change some oil. So if you want to get in for a tight pan shot, although this is a bowl, not a pan.
Well, close enough.
I have not done this before, but I went to the school of Google, and it's an 8 mil and a 12 mil. 8 mil for 8 mil for the filter housing here, then 12 mil for the main drain.
Let me see that filter housing. That's a tiny filter housing. It's right there.
The filter's even littler, and they were not afraid to tighten that, but that was okay. It's not.
I wouldn't imagine.
It felt good though, because I put about 50 miles on it today, just to go run and get the stuff to do an oil change. So what I understand is there's a gasket behind here of sorts.
Do you have a replacement?
Yes. The Honda dealer was very happy to take my money and get me exactly everything I needed to do this.
Filter was what, 13 bucks?
13 bucks for a filter, and I can't find anything
aftermarket.
Right, or at least there's something from K&N, but I want to go back and actually read the tech specs on the filter to see how well its filtration properties are.
There it goes.
Well, that's easy. Oh yeah, look at that. That oil's dirty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's dark. I mean, it's not as dark as it could be.
Right.
But it's still needed to be changed, I think.
Oh yeah.
Especially since this is the very first oil change, and this is pretty much the break-in oil that was shipped with it.
Correct, and that's just straight dyno juice.
Yep.
So
we got
check everything. Actually, no, not in there.
So we got a spring that came out.
And then that gasket gets replaced as well.
I'm guessing that spring pushes against the filter up against this backing plate that screws on.
Correct. And then the filter, they said have a pick of some sort.
Do we have one?
I just never noticed that, the plastic there. Do we have one? No.
Don't know. Uh-oh.
But I have a house key.
There you go.
Hot damn, using tools from which they were not meant to be done.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's dark, but of course it's gonna look like that because it was bathed in oil.
Bathed in oil, and
oh, that's crimped with a metal piece. I thought it was just glued to the top of it. Okay.
And it's not shiny either.
No. I mean, the oil doesn't look shiny at all, so I wouldn't expect anything's really been done to it, even though you did run it kind of hard for the first.
Kind of is an understatement.
Well.
So that's not too terrible.
Let's see.
No, it's a little shiny. You can see it.
A little bit. That's probably break-in.
Definitely break-in. So, put the new filter and stuff on. An oil change for the quart of the oil filter is $11.99.
Okay, that's not too bad.
The new gasket for the housing here is $3.99. No, $1.99. The crush washer for the bolt is $3.99, and the oil is 14 bucks a quart.
The one for the bolt? I wonder if it's that same darn crush washer that's used on every Honda transmission.
You'd think. You're probably right, honestly. And I'm just using the Honda HP4S 10W30.
Yep, that's what Honda recommends.
And
straight dyno juice.
No, it's full synthetic.
Oh, it is full synthetic. Okay.
And you can. There are people who do dyno juice. There's people who are synthetic. Some people like chicken. Some people like steak. Some people say potato. Some people say potato. When I was trolling the forums, asking on the Quasi Discord server, they were all just like, use what Honda calls for, 10W30 synthetic or not. It's your choice. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes it a little easier.
That makes it a lot easier because we could just bulk buy 1030 AMSOIL.
Here you go.
Oh yeah. That's it's quite a difference.
I'd say so. So the gasket side went in, and there's a little
Yep.
teat, I guess is the best way to word it.
A little titty there.
And then spring goes in.
Spring goes. Yep. Springs should be facing out towards the cover. And then we got to replace the gasket, I think, on the cover.
You are correct, and I'm trying to debate how I want to do that because I haven't got a pick, and I will be glad to inform you that it's still warm from my hard run this morning.
I mean, I can do it.
Aha.
Ah!
I know a thing or two. Just done a few of these. Alright, let's see.
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Oh, those commercials are so cheesy, but they always make me giggle. Oh, if I rip this, we're back to Honda.
Well, run there on the PCX.
Right. And then just because, a little oil.
Yeah. You're using the old oil to lubricate the gasket.
No, it's more cost effective. And wrap that on around.
I can't imagine this takes much oil, that full quart.
No, I think it's 8/10.
That's about the same amount that the Tao Tao takes.
I mean, I do know it's less than. I think the Groms take a full quart. This takes barely a quart. And then when you go in the hole. Oh, you're gonna be tricky, aren't you? Why do you test me today? Here we go.
Yep.
And of course, I'm doing 2,000 mile oil changes on this. I'm not doing. Manual calls for 4,000, and then every 12 you take this side of the motor off and do the spinner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the spinner at 12. I might pay them to do it.
I mean, it's not difficult, I wouldn't imagine.
No, difficult and time-consuming are often.
Because it's just that center part right there you got to take off, right?
No, that's just a beauty ring. You have to take each of these bolts off. This whole part of the motor comes off. This whole thing
that's a
cover.
pain. What?
Not a huge pain. If you know what you're doing, you can get it done fast, but we don't know what we're doing. We can read an instruction manual, though.
I mean, yeah.
And these are supposed to be a torque measurement. But you've worked with me long enough to know that I don't listen to those.
Get the impact gun and we just ugga-dugga.
Right. All right. That's
one ugga-dugga should be enough.
So that one's good, and the other one is now in tight. So it's good and tight.
We call for the German spec, gut and tight.
Exactly. I used to own a Volkswagen. So now we drain the crankcase, which is around a bunch of other hot shit. So going over on the other side, you might get a better view than seeing my butt.
All right.
Right there.
And right about there is a drain bolt.
Ooh, that header was still warm. Oh my god.
There it is.
Jeez.
Maybe using a 1/4-inch ratchet wouldn't be the would be a better option to use a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch.
Be a smarter idea.
Oh, ew.
Oh yeah.
That is quite dark. Ew.
I don't think this thing had a crush washer on it. It didn't.
Uh-oh.
Or it's still attached to the block.
I think it is. Yeah, I see it. I think it is still attached to the block.
I think that's the fastest we've ever had a vehicle drain oil. Oh, it'd be really easy to do the valve adjustment on this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that that's a tiny EVAP thing?
That is more than I'm guessing that this right here is your crankcase breather.
I'm thinking it is.
Basically, it has a hose that hooks directly to the crankcase, and it has some that goes back into the airbox, but all the oil just collects there in the.
That looks like gassy oil.
Either that, or it's gas, or it's a sediment bowl. I don't know.
Maybe. It'd be an interesting place to put it, especially a sediment bowl on a non-carbed bike. But hey, I recognize that cover. Gee, almost looks similar to what's on your PCX.
Yeah, of course I didn't do the valve adjustment because I didn't want to fiddle for it with all that plastic on it.
Oh, yep, there is that crush washer on the block. Oh, you little turd.
Well, let's see here.
Oh, it was easy. I thought it was going to be stuck on there, but it's not.
There it is.
Well, that was easy. When did I have this thing off-road? Because that's grass. Oh, that's not a whole lot of oil at all.
I think I was optimistic when I said that the other pan you had was too small.
You know, honestly, I think a tiny Tupperware would have done this.
Yeah. Oh well. You know.
This will just become the SUPERCUB oil change, because you can actually see the increments on the side. That's not even 4 cups of oil.
Oh yeah.
That's 2 cups, whatever that is in liters.
I don't know.
I regret not bringing paper towels out with us now.
This thing has the cutest little catalytic converter right there.
I've never thought to describe a catalytic converter as cute, but I suppose you could put ooh woo in the sentence describing this one. Oh, alright, you crush washer. I firmly regret not having paper towels out here right now, though.
Yeah.
Which way should I put that on?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it really matters because it is a crush washer. It's just going to crush against the block and flatten out to seal it either way. So I believe it doesn't matter which way you put the crush washer. Jeez, it got warm out.
Well, yeah, laying in the sun will do that.
Yeah. Going with the German spec on this too, Guten type.
It's only aluminum.
Just don't slip because you're.
That'll only hurt you.
Well.
I wonder if we should replace that gasket there too.
I mean, I have an O-ring set at home.
I guarantee you there's sticklers out there who would do it though. I didn't think to grab a filter. Or no, I grabbed the filter.
A funnel.
Yeah.
I have one in the PCX.
If you wouldn't mind grabbing that?
Yeah, I can. I can grab it if you want.
That might be a knowledgeable idea.
I'll pause it here. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, we have secured the funnel.
And now
we gotta pour it in.
Gotta get the pour. I missed the sight glasses of the 2022s. No, 2021s. 2022 is when they changed that. If you take the whole motor apart, it takes a quart.
Right. That's at about 400. So you're going to want to be just above 200, I think. That's about right.
Now we are totally on not flat ground, so
well,
whatever we do, whatever I stick it at, it's not going to be
completely accurate.
Yeah. But there's flat ground back there on the road we can test.
It's going to be close enough, I would think.
Hey, as long as we're close enough. I'll carry the oil in if it burns a little bit, whatever.
And that's why I have the filter in the PCX, or not the filter, the funnel.
About right there.
Yeah, that's
almost spot on.
It's about spot on. Of course, we are leaning back. We are leaning back a bit, so it's not going to be
perfectly accurate.
Perfect.
Right. About right there. It's in the it's in the cross hatches. You can see it's right there.
It is in the cross hatch.
Regardless, it's got enough in it. It won't blow up if we turn it on.
Now watch, our luck is just going to blow up.
Right.
Warranty.
Well, let's let it run here for a bit. It doesn't have to. Honda would call for it to warm up so you can get everything up around the top end of the motor, wait for a few minutes, and then let it drain back down and see what you got.
I mean, I just run the PCX for about a minute and then check it, which most of the time it's fine.
Which I'm willing to bet it's going to be fine here. I love how they paint the cap to confirm they have put oil in it.
I gotta get a paint marker now. I gotta replace that.
I can definitely hear a little rattle. It almost sounds timing cover or timing chain.
Yeah. It sounds timing chain related to me. Of course, that's a characteristic of these motors.
Tiny 125s are pretty noisy.
It's the same thing with the GY 650s and 80s or 72.
That's why I'm not too worried. These tiny motors are typically clicky, clacky, loud. Well, the PCX is loud. As far as 150s go.
Yeah, I think that's just a characteristic of the motor, though.
Yeah, it's always been clouder ever since I got it.
Well, I mean, it sounds almost identical to my GY 672cc that I
well, that is, of course, is going to be clouder.
Well,
those are very tight specifications. But I got to looking at the oil, and minus the occasional shinies of break-in, there's some flashing material in here from when it was new and things were kind of breaking in.
It doesn't look bad, though. I mean, it's dirty, but it's not. I'm not seeing anything that screams bad to me.
Yeah,
really,
nothing in here I'm particularly worried about. You can see how it's reflected. You see the shinies on top of on the surface.
Very slightly. Yeah, I can see it from this angle.
I expect that. You figure that shouldn't be ring material. That's probably clutch material.
That's just break-in.
Yeah,
it's probably just the clutch wearing in. I mean, if it was if it looked metallic, I would say that's probably rings. But most of the time, the rings are fairly tight, so I don't think they really need to break in all that much for you to really ride it.
Right. I'm not particularly worried about that. And now I can send a little bit of that off to a testing lab.
Yep. We'll send it to testing lab after.
I am curious if I can send a little bit of it off just to see what the total parts per million of like copper, iron. Would lead be in the metal? No, probably not.
No, I don't think so. These engines are all aluminum.
Yeah, see how much aluminum there is. I know.
Beep. Can you get one that's paint matched to yours? I believe you could.
They, by default, are this color, red or blue, in the aftermarket, but you can paint them to be whatever you want them to be. It's just a beauty cover.
So get one that's carbon fiber, adds 5 horsepower.
Right, adds 5 horsepower, drops a quarter of a pound. Anything you can do to speed these things up. Carbon fiber racing fuel.
Carbon fiber dipstick.
I would call that.
Yeah, that's in the crosshatches. Yeah, that's about 3/4 of the way up.
Yeah, just below full. All right,
that's what you want.
Maybe put a splash more in, but I really don't want to because of crankcase windage. If it drags the crank through the oil, it ruins your efficiency. So.
I don't think it will hurt anything to put a teeny bit more in there, but not
crankcase
much.
windage, 100%. Because these little motors are so weak. Anything you can do to prevent them from stressing. So yeah, I mean you figure measurement-wise.
And you still have some in there. If it burns any, you can throw it in.
We are in the range of we are in the tolerance ranges. Once we are in flat ground, I will properly check it, and we're going to be within spec. Mm-hmm. And even then, it's got plenty in it. It's not going to sit and burn up when I go to sheets to top it off with gas before I go riding somewhere.
Knock.
Well, we'll know pretty quick, or I'll know pretty quick, because the shifting will get hard. The shifting will get very notchy, very clunky, and the motor will run hot. That's pretty much. That's how Quasi noticed his Trail 125 running a little bit low in oil. But on the Cannonball, they were burning on these bikes 200 mil a day.
Damn.
Which 200 mil
is about that right there.
Yeah, they were burning that a day. So yeah, they switched to
Valvoline.
I think
or was it Castrol? I know Castrol makes Activo. Valvoline just makes their
they make motorcycle oil. Yeah,
motorcycle oil.
They do have 10W30. I want to say they switched to Valvoline, but I'm probably misquoting Quasi on that one. I have to go back and find it.
I know Castrol makes a 10W30 flavor of their Activo
flavor, like vanilla, chocolate, 10W30.
Well, you have 1030, 1040, 2050. They all taste different.
Well, it doesn't taste near as bad as 15W40. That's what I ran on the Volvo.
Hey, I mean, Shell Rotella has a sweet smell. It doesn't taste good, but
no, I've got enough. I've had 87 in my mouth before, and I gotta admit, it's better than diesel. All right, well, I'm not gonna record the rest, but now we get to peel the front leg shield off, peel the battery box, or peel the battery cover off, remove my center mount here, and
that's pretty cool though.
Run
the little rack you got.
Oh, honestly, this got like a couple of comments at the dealership this morning. because I've got my little Kenimoto bag on here now, which is enough for like a phone charger, keys, wallet, just basic storage. But this center rack here, I can put like a gallon of gas on it or a gallon and a half of gas, strap it down, and I've got this stop right here so I can actually have it resting somewhat smoothly.
Right.
I mean, this was like 50 bucks on Amazon.
Not bad.
This whole bike, to trick out this whole bike, 50, 25, 200.
200 for the windshield, the Keurig windshield.
Unnecessarily expensive. 200 for the windshield, so you're up to what? 250, 275. The rear rack.
Then we got this, well, the rear rack, and then we got the Apache 4800 for I think 40.
The rear rack to me was free because of all the points I had accumulated after buying the bike at the dealership.
Right.
The rear rack was about 58 after tax, I think. So it was under 400 to fully kit out, including the charger.
It's not bad.
No, not at all. And I'm expecting lots of more happy mileage with it.